Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic DNA binding proteins and identifications of protein binding site. What is DNA binding proteins? The proteins which in our cells that helps and modulate DNA's functions are called DNA binding proteins. They do many factors like controlling protein production, regulating cell growth and division, and storing DNA inside the nucleus. The DNA binding proteins, which has two basic domains. The DNA binding domain specifically recognizes the target sequence. An activation domain contacts the basal transcription factor. The DNA binding proteins have the binding domains have specific or general affinity for a single or double stranded DNA. The main function of the DNA binding proteins are to organize and compact the chromosomal DNA and involves in the regulations of the process of transcription, DNA replication and DNA recombination. The DNA binding proteins have specific or general affinity for single or double stranded DNA, which is by the help of DNA binding domain. A DNA binding domain can recognize a specific DNA sequence or have a general affinity to DNA. The DNA has a major and minor groove, as we know. The DNA binding domain mainly interacts majorly with the major groove of bDNA because it exposes more functional groups that identify the base pair. The transcription factors which modulate process of transcription like various various polymerases and nucleases which cleave DNA molecules involving in chromosome packaging. There are several motifs or structural domains which involves in the DNA protein binding. These four structural motifs we will study about are helix turn helix, zinc fingers, leucine zippers, helix loop helix. The first one, helix turn helix. In proteins, helix turn helix is a major structural motif capable of binding DNA. These HTH are typically found in prokaryotic DNA binding proteins. Helix turn helix proteins consist of two short helices of 7 to 9 amino acids long but separated or linked by non-helical segment of 3 to 4 amino acids, which are actually responsible for turning the protein. As the structure showed in the in this slide, the helix turn helix motif consists of two alpha helices. There are variations among helix turn helix proteins such as di HTH, trihelical HTH and tetrahelical HTH and winged HTH, helix turn helix. Structure. The structure consists of two alpha helices joined by a short strand of amino acids. In between there is an amino acid sequence which forming a turn. The recognition and binding to DNA by this motif helix turn helix proteins is done by two alpha helices, one occupying at the N terminal end of the motif and other at the C terminal end. As this picture represents, the C terminal binds to the major groove and the N terminal helps to position the complex. The next structural domain is the zinc finger. The zinc finger proteins are the globular proteins. It presents finger shaped motif binding to the DNA sequence. In specific manner it is referred to as zinc finger motif. There are numerous examples of such proteins like sp1, tf3a, etc. In the zinc finger, a small group of amino acids coordinates as a zinc metal ion to form a finger. This finger contains the beta sheet and alpha helical structure. In most proteins, the zinc finger, the N-terminal region after cysteine has beta sheet, and in the right side, whereas the loop has alpha helical structure. This picture represents the alpha helical structure and the beta sheet, whereas the N-terminal region after the cysteine has a beta sheet and the right side of the loop has alpha helical structure. The name zinc finger protein has derived from the kind of loop it generates when a covalent bond. The formation between the zinc metal ions. The zinc metal ion is bonded with 2 cytosine on one side and 2 histidine on the other side, either side of the polypeptide, thus forming the zinc finger domain. The zinc finger has major functions like DNA recognition, RNA packaging, transcriptional activation, protein folding and assembly, and lipid binding. The next structural domain is the leucine zippers. Leucine zippers are the stretch of amino acids which is rich in hydrophobic leucine, and they are on one side of the right-handed helix. The leucine zipper is a stretch of amino acids in which the residues provide the dimerization motif. The dimer formation itself has emerged as a common principle in the action of proteins that recognize specific DNA sequences. Okay. The repeat of leucine amino acid is for every 3.5 residues per turn, and this pattern repeats for every 7 amino acids residues. The leucines are located on the one phase of the alpha helixes. Interaction between the leucines itself results in the dimerization form, such as if two such chains having the same type of helices and hydrophobicity, they can easily interact with one another by protein-protein interaction and form coiled coils. For example, consider the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H as a sequence of amino acids, and one segment of the helix where A and B are hydrophobic. Then one finds hydrophobic amino acids with hydrophobicity on the same side at every 3.5 amino acids residue, which is actually one turn of the helix, and form the zipper-like structure. And the next structural domain is the helix loop helix. The helix loop helix proteins are the modifications of the continuous helices of the leucine zipper proteins, in which the DNA binding and the dimerization regions are separated by a loop, which resulting in a 4 helix bundle. The domain here consists of 2 alpha helices separated by a loop of amino acids. Transcriptional factors having helix loop helix motif or dimeric, each one with the helix containing basic amino acid residues which facilitate the DNA binding. Structure. The helix loop helix motif domain consists of 2 alpha helices separated by a loop of amino acids. The 2 polypeptide chains with the motif join to form a functional DNA binding protein. The transcriptional factor including this domain are in dimeric form. In general, one helix is smaller, and the other, due to flexibility of the loop, allows dimerization by folding and packaging against the another helix. The larger helix typically contains the DNA binding region. The binding helix loop helix proteins typically bind to a consensus sequence. The functions of binding helix loop helix transcription factors are often important in development or cell activity. Regulation of helix loop helix. Since many BHLH transcription factors are heterodimeric, their activity is often highly regulated by the dimerization of subunits. One subunit's expression or availability is often controlled, whereas the other subunit is constitutively expressive. One is expressed, whereas the other is often controlled. Okay. And here we complete the four main structural motifs of the DNA binding proteins. Next we will go for the methods of identifications of protein binding site. Before that we will see the protein DNA interaction. The protein DNA interactions has important role in controlling cellular processes like replication, transcription, recombination, DNA repair, etc. Each DNA binding domain has one motif, which is conserved amino acid sequence of this protein, which recognizes the single or double-stranded DNA. There are two types of DNA protein interactions. Those are sequence specific DNA binding and sequence non-specific DNA binding. Sequence specific DNA binding. Each transcription factor which binds to the specific set of DNA sequences and activates or inhibits the transcription of genes which is near the promoters. Firstly, they will bind the RNA polymerase which is responsible for transcription, which by either direct or through other mediator proteins, which helps locating the polymerase at the promoter and allows it to begin transcription. And alternatively, the transcription factors can bind enzymes that modify the histones at the promoter. This alters the accessibility of the DNA template to the polymerase. Most of these base interactions are made in the major groove of the bDNA, as it exposes more functional groups and identify the base pairs. Sequence non-specific DNA binding. Structural proteins that bind DNA are well understood examples of non-specific DNA protein interactions. These proteins, which is the structural proteins that binding the DNA, organize the DNA into a compact structure called chromatin. In prokaryotes, multiple types of proteins are involved, whereas in eukaryotes, this structure involves DNA binding to a complex of small basic proteins such called histones. The histone form a disc-shaped complex called a nucleosome in eukaryotes, which contains two complete turns of double-stranded DNA wrapped around its surface. These non-specific interactions are formed through basic residues in the histones, making ionic bonds to the acidic sugar phosphate, which is the backbone of the DNA, and are therefore largely independent of the base sequences. Other non-specific DNA binding proteins in chromatin include the high mobility group proteins, which bind to distorted or bent DNA. Coming to DNA binding protein identification, there are many in vitro and in vivo techniques which are useful in detecting the DNA protein interactions. Some of the methods are electrophoretic mobility shift assay. It is a widespread technique to identify protein DNA interactions. The second is the DNase footprinting assay, which can be used to identify the specific site of binding of protein to DNA. Chromatin immunoprecipitation technique, which is used to identify the sequence of DNA fragments which bind to a known transcriptional factor. Okay. When this chromatin immunoprecipitation technique is combined with high throughout sequencing is known as chip sequence, and when combined with microarrays it is known as chip method. The first one, electrophoretic mobility shift assay. This technique is mainly based on the principle that a protein DNA binding complexes migrate slowly than free DNA molecules when subjected to gel electrophoresis. When the DNA protein binder complex subjected to electrophoresis, it moves slowly than the free DNA molecules. Whereas the rate of DNA migration is retarded upon protein binding, and the assay is also called as gel retardation assay. In this, the adding a protein specific antibody to the binding components creates an even larger complex such as the antibody, protein and DNA complex, which migrates even slower during electrophoresis to confirm protein identities. There are 5 basic steps involved in the electrophoretic mobility shift assay, which is the preparations of purified protein sample or the preparations of the gel electrophoresis. Second one is the preparations of the nucleic acid sample, DNA sample, and the upcoming binding reactions. And the next step is the non-denaturating gel electrophoresis and detection of results outcome. This picture represents the electrophoretic mobility shift assay, whereas the DNA protein complex is formed and the outcome of the shift assay. Next technique, chromatin immunoprecipitation assay, chip method. This can be used to monitor transcriptional regulation through histone modification. The analysis of DNA protein interaction by treating cells with formaldehyde. The treatment of cells with formaldehyde is mainly to stabilize the interactions for detecting the DNA protein interaction. The target protein and the DNA sequence will be analyzed to provide an antibody against the protein of interest. And the next method, DNase footprinting. DNase footprinting. When in this method, when sequence specific proteins bind to DNA, they can protect the binding sites from modification or digestion. This can be visualized by denaturating gel electrophoresis. Whereas in the unprotected DNA is cleaved, thus it appearing ladder of bands. The unprotected DNA appear as the ladder of bands, whereas the protected site proteins have no corresponding bands and look like footprints in the patterns of bands. The footprints thereby identify specific nucleosides at the protein DNA binding sites. The next method, microplate capture and detection assays. The immobilized DNA probes are used to capture specific protein DNA interactions. In this method, the immobilized DNA probe is used. The well of the microplate, it's coated with streptavidin and the DNA probe is immobilized on the surface. Then the cellular extract is added to allow binding protein to bind oligonucleotide. The extract is removed and each well is washed to remove non-specifically bound proteins. Then the protein is detected using specific antibody labeled for detection. The next method, DNA pull down assay. The DNA probe labeled with high affinity tags such as biotin allows the probe to be recovered or immobilized. Then the proteins are then eluted and detected by the Western blot method or by identified by mass spectroscopy. Also, protein may be labeled with affinity tag, or the complex form DNA protein complex are isolated using antibody. In this DNA pull down assay, the unknown DNA sequence bound by protein is detected by a southern blot technique or through PCR, polymerase chain reaction analysis. Okay. There are several methods of identifying the DNA protein binding complex. Each method has their own limitation, and new extraction methods are being tested for more sensitive and accurate results. Identifying these proteins and their interactions with the nucleic acid cast on the gene expressed and functions that arise from the expression. Thank you.